Stacie Cohen.
Thank you, Paul. Good. Very happy to be here with you all, and thank you, Paul and Rita and everybody that's helped you guys, and you for helping yourself and coming here. It's really important to stay in touch with other people so that you can continue to live a certain lifestyle, whatever you choose. So my other company is also called Healthful Choices, because there's so many choices out there. There's so many ways that we already do things. There's a million other diets. Nothing that we tell you right now is going to work perfectly for each person as a set pattern. So what I want to do with you today is really just tell you what my experience has been. And I have to do it totally different from a lot of other people, I feel, because of what happened with my health, which I'll go into in a little bit. And so I eat when I feel like it, you know, and I eat very little. So we'll go into that a little bit too. So like I say, this is from my experience. You know, Paul has a way of doing things. And I mean, sure, there's a certain path that we're all looking at, but you're going to find what works best for you anyway, in your thinking, in your eating, and whatever you do. So I really just want to teach coming from the heart and from what I know. What I want to show you today is some very quick, simple recipes. These are like 5 minutes, because if you're reading and reading about raw food and all the nutritional facts and all the other facts out there about a lifestyle, and you go to the refrigerator and you open it up and there's nothing there, what are you going to do? You may not make some really great choices. So you want it quick and easy, and you want a few things that you can spend maybe a couple hours one day, make enough food for the next 4 or 5 days. And then maybe another day of the week, you'll get in there and you'll make a few other kinds of foods. So twice a week, not so hard. When we think of going back to our roots, when we didn't have as many packaged goods and we didn't have the fast food restaurants. So I always say you can spend time at the doctor's office waiting, or you can get in the kitchen. So just balance your time out. So you're important. So this recipe is mock salmon pate, and sometimes I will grind the nuts. If I grind the nuts first, I'm going to empty them back out, and I'm going to put all my wet food in there first. So just like when we do food combining, we want the wettest, juiciest foods first. And that's going to help to turn everything else. If I have all this dense material down here, then it's not going to grind, and it's going to be harder to turn over. It's going to take longer. It could possibly get hot. And I love that we don't even have to use a knife on the food, and we can just break into it. So I don't know if it's been mentioned to you by anybody else that did a demo, but when we put metal to the food, it changes the ionic structure. And you don't have to know all about that, but we need more negative ions in the air and in our bodies so that we create the right kind of charge and keep ourselves healthy. You can find out all kinds of other information on that. But you know, how easy is it just to break it up? And I really like to be with my food. There's a book called Play With Your Food. And at one time, my grandchildren, when they were just young, they were not going to eat anything green. So I took the spiralizer, and I took the zucchini, and I put it on my fingers, and I wrapped it around my wrist. And then I took the sauce. They were like 3 and 5, and I smeared the sauce on my arm. And I started eating it, and they were like, well, I want some. And I said, oh, you know, I want to do that. And I said, well, you can't do that unless you're going to eat it. If you're going to play with your food, you have to eat it also. So very important there. So ways to make it fun for the kids. Let them break it up. And then the smell comes through, and it's wonderful. So we have the red pepper and my green onion. Now I am going to cut this. And I could probably just break that up too. But it's all been washed. But I just want to show you, it takes moments. I didn't want to have everything fully prepped for you here because it just takes a minute. And a great thing to do if you don't like being in the kitchen a lot, line up a whole bunch of slices of lettuce or whatever you have to do, and of celery. And I like to use just regular kitchen knives, whatever I have around. I do have ceramic knives also. That's what I was going to mention, that the ceramic knives will also not create that breaking of the negative and positive bond.